going on, guys? How y'all doing this Wednesday evening? This is the Club of the Man 1993, and we are here live for my live review of AEW Dynamite, the go-home show of Dynamite before this Saturday's pay-per-view, AEW All Out 2020. And it will be a very awesome show, as I will definitely do my live preview and predictions tomorrow night on this channel, as tonight I just had a super busy night. Got some personal things done, got some other business done for myself as well. Well, I watched a show of Dynamite, so I was not able to tweet during Dynamite tonight because I was focused on other things. But overall, very great go home show. Very good way to set up, some other matches that were announced official for Dynamite. For All Out as well. That definitely raised my excitement a little bit, of course, for this pay-per-view, definitely. It's going to be a very good show, and again, I like that we got to set things up for the big show on Saturday. Of course, again, I will be watching it right here in my home with two of my really good friends, Joe and Dan, so we're going to watch that together, and of course, I think we're going to do a live review on Dan's channel, and of course, again, I will come up here at some point to do my own live review on All Out as well. So, with that being said, let's roll in and talk to the show. Of course, after talk about the show. Of course, after this stream, I will have a turn alert to upload for Aleister Black's heel turn in WWE. And then we will go from there. So let's roll in and let's talk about this episode of Dynamite. And Tyler's already giving it an A. Tyler's already got a big thumbs up for it. And I gotta say, just about that thumbs up too. Not quite as high as Tyler, but another pretty good grade for the third week in a row. I'm giving Dynamite the same grade that I've been given for the past several weeks. It's been definitely really good, cooking up big time for a pay-per-view, as of course it should be. So let's roll right into it and talk about this show. So, we get a breakdown of tonight's card before we start off with the opening match, which is a tag match with best friends Chuck Taylor and Trent taking on Inner Circle's Proud and Powerful Santana and Ortiz. A good opening match. Again, they've had this feud going back and forth with these two teams for a while, with Santana and Ortiz just again bullying around best friends. Also, just kind of tying in a little bit with the Chris Jericho and Orange Cassidy storyline. As I said before, though, best friends, they're good. But I still feel they're a little bit overrated. They haven't really grabbed my attention like the Young Bucks or Jurassic Express, or needless to say, even Proud and Powerful. And recently as well, definitely Private Party. Best friends? They're alright. But again, it's just, even though their record's now 14-5 or something like that, still find them just a bit overrated, I feel. There's something that's missing for making me feel like, they're okay, yeah, I want to see these guys fight for the tag titles. But of course, the match happens, and Santana and Ortiz win the match with a street sweeper onto Trent for the victory. So a good way to start off the show. We have this backstage segment with MJF with one of his entourage, and tells him that his lawyer, smart Mark Sterling, has locked himself in his locker room because, as snuck in on page 17 of the contract for the AEW World Title match, Mark Sterling, the lawyer of MJF, needs to face Jon Moxley in a match tonight, and if he does not, MJF loses his opportunity at the title on Saturday. But also in this match, the Paradigm Shift is legal. The Paradigm Shift is being banned from the match with Moxley and MJF on Saturday. Of course, MJF then finds Sterling, and Wardlow kicks his door down and pulls him out. MJF gets inside Sterling's face and says he's done whatever it takes his entire life to become a champion. And he knows he's afraid of Moxley, but there's nothing scarier than being in the position to get in the way of his gold. And when men get in the way of his gold, bad things happen. So you can either go to the ring, or you get in a big time censor, because he probably swore his head off for 3 words in a row, which is needed from a good heel like MJF. He gets into basically a effing wood chipper. So the choice is his. Which one does he want to deal with tonight? Of course, Sterling's just, panting. Of course, obviously, he has no interest in facing Moxley and, getting hurt, just like, MJF claims he did with the Paradigm Shift. Just trying to take, Moxley's deadliest weapon out of his bag, but like Moxley said, that's okay. It just gives him a reason to think of, something even more dangerous, to be even more creative. And he loves to be creative, as we got, of course, from his podcast with Jericho last year on why he left WWE. So, of course, we all know Moxley has some creativity up his sleeve, and he could probably come up with something else besides the Paradigm Shift. But, of course, I think he's going to be retaining on Saturday. We'll get to that in my preview and predictions. We have this tag match with Jurassic Express's Jungle Boy Jack Perry and Luchasaurus teaming with the Young Bucks, Matt and Nick Jackson, taking on Private Parties, Isaiah Cassidy and Mark Quinn, and SCU's Christopher Daniels and Frankie Kazarian. Different, but a pretty fun tag match. As I said, all four of these teams have definitely grabbed my attention pretty good, with the Young Bucks being, the All-Stars. Jurassic Express, which I thought were good candidates to take the titles off of the Elites, Kenny Omega and Hangman Adam Page. Of course, they will be facing FTR on Saturday for the tag titles. Private Parties, Isaiah Cassidy and Mark Quinn, I think have definitely gotten a little bit of a boost since kind of having their little run-ins with Matt Hardy. And of course, SCU, it's been a fun tag team from the get-go. Of course, what was also involved in this match, teasing some, Matt and Nick Jackson obviously are a little salty right now. Because of what Hangman Adam Page did to them last week, costing them their spot in the Gauntlet match and a chance to get a rematch for the AEW World Tag Titles. We had good sequence towards the end where Quinn goes for a shooting star press, but then Luchasaurus breaks it up, hits a discus knee to Daniels, headbutts on Quinn, tosses him into a power bomb from Perry, but then Kaz breaks it up. Cassidy then was taken out with a clothesline. Luchasaurus tags back in, and then he waits the Goswell blind tag from Matt, and Luchasaurus takes Daniels out with a clean crescent kick. Jurassic Express and the Young Bucks win by the BTE trigger from the Bucks onto Mark Quinn. And I think afterwards they announced that we're going to have a match between the Young Bucks and Jurassic Express. I like it. It's going to be interesting. Of course, again, it has Young Bucks fall out from losing based off because of the interference from Hangman Adam Page, and again a good chance to give a big victory for Jurassic Express. We all know it's going to be awesome. Again, with Jungle Boy as the underdog and Luchasaurus got something good up his sleeve as well. So I look forward to seeing what we get from that match. And then we see Jake Hager go into Orange Cassidy's dressing room, who sits next to him. They stare at each other until Hager informs Cassidy that Jericho wants him at ringside for a match tonight. Cassidy puts a foot up on Hager's leg, but Hager swats away and tells him he better be smart and be out there. But then as we go to commercial break, though, we see Orange Cassidy going through his backpack. So what does he have in there? We'll find out in a bit. Then we have a backstage segment with Tully Blanchard and the FTR. Tully tells them on Saturday it's their chance, and they talk about how important this match is to them. And on Saturday, you'll have to fear the Revolution. Top guys. Oops, adjusting my whole desk. That's what I get for not having any carpet anymore. Top guys out. And then it's just the same line that you used to always say in WWE and NXT. So that line is still there. We then have speaking of FTR, they then get involved in this interview with Kenny Omega, who again, Kenny Omega and Hangman Adam Page, the AEW World Tag Champions, is going to take on FTR for the tag titles on Saturday. I think we're going to see new tag champions, just saying. Kenny says that everyone makes mistakes, and this is something Hangman Adam Page is going to have to live with the rest of his life. FTR have a title shot So Paige got taken by them and fooled. These things happen. We learn to move on. Like I was telling you before, they'll defeat them. And he hopes FTR brings their A game because he knows he and Adam will bring theirs. Which brings out FTR and Tully Blanchard carrying a cooler. FTR says the tag champs have had a great, impressive run, as two singles guys becoming tag champs. They've never had a problem with them. In fact, at All Out, they're looking forward to having a great contest and blowing everybody's mind and expectations. So he wants to toast to that, and they have chocolate milk for Omega. Kenny says they've known each other for 3 months, and they know he can't turn down a delicious chocolate milk. But he can turn down spending time with dickheads like them. If they came down here to bamboozle him, they might as well get it over with. By his count, it's 2 versus 1. Tully and sure he might, or 3 with Tully, and sure he may lose, but he'll get good shots in. But do him a favor and keep the old man away from him because he can smell his depends from here. And it brings out Hangman Adam Page, who again has still remained silent since he had costed the Young Bucks their spot in the Gauntlet match last week. So he comes out. FTR calls him down, calling him the Cowboy Hero, and they've been wanting to hear from, asking if he can explain who got into his head and turn his best friends, because it definitely wasn't them or anybody. It was no other than Hangman Adam Page himself. Kenny's known Page for 4 or 5 years, but FTR have known him his whole career, and they know it's just an insecure little boy. So tell him, Page, how are you so egotistical? Admit how big of a piece of crap you are. Kenny then holds him back and tries to reassure him as FTR take the tag titles, but Hangman demands them back, and FTR drops the belts to his feet before leaving the ring. And Adam goes to hand Omega's belt, but Kenny was out of the ring as well. Obviously showing that again, Kenny's having some doubts, even though, again, as I said, they've been teasing a heel turn more aggressively for Kenny Omega lately. So this could play into effect in the results on Saturday. I do think somebody is turning on Saturday, and besides, of course, we're going to get a new tag chance, but I think we're going to get some type of turn between Kenny Omega and Hangman Adam Page. As again, they've been teasing a change in character again for Kenny Omega for a while, so we'll see where it goes. But again, just a very excellent promo. Again, you know what? FTR, formerly the Revival, got out of WWE. They were going to be something special wherever they go. And AEW, I think they're doing just excellent and already feel like one of the best tag teams on the roster and in the world today. I can't wait to see their style come back and have an excellent match. Again, in my opinion, a match of the year candidate against Kenny Omega and Hangman Adam Page on Saturday night. It's going to be an awesome tag match for sure. Then you have Chris Jericho backstage, who asks, when's the last time the interviewer experienced something for the first time and he knew he wouldn't likely experience it again? And that's the Mimosa Mayhem match. The culmination of the 14 weeks between him and Orange Cassidy, and he's made him a better man and shown every face set of him as a pro wrestler. But on Sunday, he's going to hit him in the face with the Judas effect, make him tap with the walls of Jericho, and then dump him in the vast of Mimosa and drown his hopes and dreams in a little bit of the bubbly. God help Joey Janela tonight, though, because he's gonna be giving a little taste of right in front of Orange Cassidy of what he's going to do him. And unfortunately, Joey Janela is going to be taking the worst of it. So we have Orange Cassidy, though, before the match gets started between Chris Jericho and Joey Janela, come out and takes a seat at ringside, and again has his backpack there. We still don't know what it is. It was a quick match with Jericho and Joey Janela. I love the code breaker he hit on Janela towards the end. Like he got a lot of height on it for sure. Even with Janela's to go for a flying shoulder, but Jericho just hits a code breaker, and then he puts him into the walls of Jericho, and Janela submits to the walls of Jericho. But afterwards, Jericho takes out one of the turnbuckle pads off and smashes Janela face first to expose steel. He's hammering the wound with punches, tearing at the bad boy's flesh, and wiping his blood across the orange Cassidy shirt that Janela is wearing. Jericho continues to tear his shirt and throws it at Cassidy, and Cassidy finally had enough. Gets in there. We got a big brawl in there. Hager ran and it pulls away from Jericho. But as Sonny Kiss comes out and lays out Jericho with the right hand, Hager then hits a big high ankle spinebuster on Sonny Kiss. But then Cassidy recovers and runs Hager off before he DDTs Jericho. Again, that Mimosa Mayhem match is going to be definitely a must-see match for sure. I can't wait to see what they do with it. Again, something like that would definitely have super corny humor with WWE. But again, this is AEW and it's in Chris Jericho's hands. I actually think this is going to be really good to settle the feud with the trilogy of Chris Jericho and Orange Cassidy. So again, we will see where it goes. So we have that. We have a recap of what happened in the tables match last week with Sammy Guevara and Matt Hardy. Of course, during a commercial break, we have Matt Hardy signs being shown by Sammy Guevara, and that is announced that at All Out, we're going to get a rematch between Matt Hardy and Sammy Guevara, and it's a broken rules match. The other twist, though, is if Sammy Guevara wins, Matt Hardy must leave AEW. Putting his career on the line, I see. I don't think Matt's losing this match, but I think it's going to be a freaking awesome match for sure with Hardy and Guevara. Again, I like their tables match, but I think this broken rules match is definitely a match of the night candidate. Definitely going to give Sammy Guevara a lot more attention from that match for sure. So I definitely look forward to seeing that match on Saturday as well. We had a segment basically set up for the Casino Battle Royale. Taz was saying how one of his two boys, either Brian Cage or Ricky Starks, is going to win it. Darby Allin, though, is dead, who also asked Lance Archer ever beat, saying he can't deal with the machine. Jake Roberts comes out, and so does Lance Archer, and says, tit for tat, you interrupt him and you'll get interrupted. And then Taz and his boys are a bunch of squirrels in search of a nut, and they're going to walk out with nothing on Saturday. What he said here is the best list of losers he's ever seen, which brings out Eddie Kingston and the Lucha Brothers. Eddie says the show's live, they've got to hurry up, and they've been talking enough. Lance is a big and tough dude, but he ain't tougher than Eddie Kingston. Taz then used to be around killers, and now he's around big for nothing but machines. And then you got, which brings out Tully Blanchard, and he brings out Sean Spears. Kingston says he doesn't know whether to take Ricky Starks on a date or fight him when Taz says his boys to fight any of them. Chaos breaks down. We have Billy Gunn joining in, Darby Allin, Santana, Ortiz, Hager, best friends. More members of the Inner Circle are in a match. Again, it's going to be a pretty stacked Casino Battle Royale. I'm not sure who I'm going to pick to win right now. I have to think about that and get back to you about that one tomorrow. But yeah, definitely a lot of names are in there. We have Thunder Rosa, who's challenging Hikaru Shida on Saturday for the Women's World Title. Thunder Rosa took on Serena Deeb, who used to, of course, be, again, in the Straight Edge Society. Also, she was in NXT as a trainer or something like that. And she was also in the Mae Young Classic, so if I could see her again, I thought her and Thunder Rosa had a pretty good match. Thunder Rosa wins the Thunder Driver, as, again, we're getting ready for her match on Saturday. After this, we have a segment with Jon Moxley backstage, saying how MJF earned this shot and to not sweat the process. Because on Saturday, when the bell rings, distractions, his campaign, the lawyers, all that goes away, and there's just one question left to answer. Are you ready and willing to kill or be killed? You're going to need to be the most savage MJF needed to take out Moxley, which of course I know AEW will capitalize for sure. If it's been bad enough without anything else running around with the title, and this is his moment, his trial by fire. Kill or be killed. He knows he thinks he's real hot stuff, but everything he's done until now has been the easy part. Big Swole's then interviewed. She says how Britt Baker has been ducking and dodging for the longest time, and this changes this weekend because at the buy-in, the pre-show, she's going to have no place to hide because she's going to show up at her job and they're going to fight tooth and nail. Which Rebel rolls up with a pizza and it's faked out. It leads to Dr. Britt Baker attacking Big Swole. She puts her into the pizza and puts the lockjaw on. I heard we're getting a broken teeth match. Not sure what that exactly is, but we're getting that match on Saturday as well as Britt Baker will make her in-ring return since right before she suffered that knee injury before Double or Nothing back in May. And Jon Moxley squashed smart Mark Sterling, the lawyer. But after the match, though, Wardlow gets in the ring and runs Moxley over with a lariat. Fireman's carry to an F10. MJF rolls up, though, and discards the walker, discards the neck brace, showing that he was fake it the whole time. He gets in the ring, and he raids, grounded, punches down, gouging out the eyes of Moxley, choking him and calling for Wardlow to get him his ring. He punches him in the dome with the ring. Moxley then was busted open as MJF continues to keep raining down punches on the wound. And he then wipes Moxley's blood across his face, holds up the title, and he's just screaming at him like a madman. And that's how the show goes off the air. Again, great way, definitely up the dangerousness of MJF as well. I mean, he's more of a mind games person than stuff in the ring. But when you have him work with the right guy, has excellent chemistry for sure. And again, I can't wait to see what happens with Moxley. And sorry guys, with Moxley and MJF and all these other matches that were announced for Saturday. Again, the 8-man tag match involving the Dark Order, FTR, and the Elites, Kenny Omega, Hangman and Page for the tag titles, Moxley and MJF, Thunder Rosa and Hikaru Shida. The match with Jurassic Express taking on the Young Bucks should be good. And a few others I know that I think are going to be added in as well. But that's going to do it, guys. Again, awesome night. What are your thoughts on... Oh, first before I go off the air, I give it an A-. We have 21 votes on Twitter. 28.6% said yes. 42.9% says B. 19% said C. And 9.5% said D or lower. Again, I'm giving this show an A-. It was awesome, top to bottom. Set up very nicely for All Out. So what are your thoughts on this, guys? Make sure to leave your thoughts down in the comment section below. Make sure as always to slap a like on the video, subscribe or comment on my channel, and follow me on Twitter at DemandAir193. Once again, I'll be uploading a brief video on Aleister Black's heel turn, and then I'm going to bed. Again, I'll be live tomorrow night, though, for my live preview and predictions for AEW Dynamite 2020. So, guys, I'm tired. I'm going to go to bed. That's going to do it. I'll see you guys tomorrow. Have a good rest of your Wednesday night. I'll see you guys tomorrow, which will be Thursday. Peace out, everybody.